draw. I don't know how they're implementing that. I haven't done enough research into it, but it looks like you'll be able to create your own Skylanders.
Really?
Yeah. So in the video it showed a bunch of little drawings, and the drawing turns into somehow gets into the game, and it turns into a Skylander for the game. So it'll be interesting to see. And so let's finish up before we go into hardware. Let's finish up software. Death Stranding.
Hideo Kojima, the god
back.
that he is.
I'm back. He won.
I'm back.
He won.
He won. He won E3.
He won E3. I mean, that crowd was insanely wild, and if I could understand anything he said, I would have been too.
I would have been.
No, I'm
I
joking.
was literally waiting for someone to throw panties on stage. Did you hear that lady?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
People going insane for Hideo Kojima, and with good reason. I mean, he's a genius.
His mind is weird, and Sony was right when they said to restrict Hideo Kojima's vision would be a mistake.
Yeah.
So hashtag fuck Konami.
Right.
Because I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. They wouldn't let him go to the Video Game Awards last year. They wouldn't let him because he had. There was stuff for him to receive, and they wouldn't let him go. The Konami's lawyers said no, you can't go because he was still under contract with them.
That's so silly.
They were like trying to hide him away and keep everything. Konami is just turning into pachinko machines for freaking.
When you have a visionary like Hideo Kojima, you don't restrict them.
No, you tell them, hey, I'm not even gonna bug you for a release date. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem I have with some of the gaming industry is that a lot of the times some of the publishers they have to hit that deadline. Everyone wants that Christmas season, holiday season game to sell the charts and make them money.
Absolutely no stranger to that.
And while I understand it business wise, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Fine, but you lose the quality, and then that's where we're at. That's why Assassin's Creed sales keep tanking every year.
Oh yeah, and especially the PC performance side of things. People after freaking Unity, we're like
we'll wait for a Steam sale.
Yeah, we'll wait for a Steam sale, or we'll buy it, and if it doesn't work within 2 hours, hey, guess what? Bloop. We're refunding it through Steam.
Yeah, so I'm happy that Hideo Kojima is being given the liberty he needs, and I also happen to be a big fan of Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus, I think he can do.
We got to see his butt.
We got to see his butt.
With digital butt.
His digital butt. I think he can do more roles than you give him credit for. I know you think he's a one-trick pony.
Just like Vin Diesel and Denzel. I love them. I love them all. They're great actors.
Yeah.
But Denzel plays the angry black guy when Vin Diesel plays the big buff guy. Like,
yeah.
That's just, he played a big buff bearded guy for a half of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then he shaved, and he was just big, and he was just Vin Diesel running around the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we'll see. Norman Reedus being guided by Hideo Kojima. I mean, I'm waiting.
Well, they seem to hit it off. This is the ashes of Silent Hill.
Yes.
Of their Silent Hill game.
Of PT. Because
Konami wouldn't let him. Like, they had something. Well, I don't think we'll ever know.
Maybe not.
But I think this is the ashes of him, Guillermo del Toro, and Norman Reedus. They were going to do a game together. They were going to do Silent Hill. All the three of them.
Guillermo del Toro is another visionary that's out there.
Yeah,
Did you know he directed a Simpsons episode? Sorry, not Simpsons, a Family Guy episode.
Are you serious?
Yes. And he did the beginning, obviously he produced the entire episode, but he did, there's just some crazy scenes in there that are just very Guillermo del Toro, very, very Pan's Labyrinth.
That fucking movie.
I love that movie.
I have a story about that movie. I went to go watch the movie, and I was thinking, it's going to be some type of fantasy movie.
Yes.
I was like, all right, cool. Little did I fucking know it was going to be dark fantasy, and from left field dark fantasy.
And Spanish subtitles.
I didn't realize the whole movie was going to be fucking Spanish. But I think I lost it at the point where dude gets his face smashed in with a bottle. Over and over and over and over again. And I was like, okay, this is not the movie I thought it was going to be.
No.
What the fuck am I watching?
Dude, it was...
I was slack-jawed the entire movie. I was just like,
No,
what really, am I watching?
It really is an amazing movie. I love Pan's Labyrinth. So, if he's behind this, that'd be great, but we don't know for sure.
We don't know. I haven't heard nothing about Guillermo del Toro, but we know Norman Reedus and him. So, I wouldn't put it past the fact that
why not?
He might show up.
¿Por qué no los dos?
¿Por qué no los dos?
I'm excited for that. I'm excited. Injustice 2. I mean, it sounds fun. I absolutely am terrible at fighting games. I enjoy them though. I have Mortal Kombat and I have Street Fighter, and I play them and I just I bring people over. Hey, come on over, let's play, and I get beat, but it's fine.
More superheroes who hate each other.
Fighting. The Injustice game itself had a as solid as a fighting game story can be, a solid story. Things are going wrong. Joker, well, spoiler I guess for a super old game, but Joker kills Lois, and Superman loses it and he kills Joker. So Superman crosses that line of killing. Although in the movie, Man of Steel, he killed someone. Or whatever. So in the game, he kills Joker, and then after that, it's like very much reminded me of Rick Grimes in the TV show. He's like, "This isn't a democracy." Remember that?
Oh God!
In the season
I
one
rewatched it
2,
recently. Yeah,
this is no longer a democracy. So essentially, oh, by the way, they just showed me your new tattoo.
Yeah, I got my new Mandalorian tattoo.
Yep, it's healing up.
And by the way, speaking of,
there you go,
I need to lotion it up.
But yeah, so essentially Superman does that. He kills him, and then after that, Superman is running everything. He decides that humans are not capable of making their own decisions, keeping themselves safe. So he kills anyone that opposes him, and then includes other heroes.
Jesus Christ.
At the end, then stuff happens, and they end up time traveling accidentally, or not time traveling, but dimension traveling through Flash. I think Flash, Green Lantern, and Batman go back in time.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Green Arrow.
Okay.
There's like 4 or 5 of them that go back, and in this timeline, Green Arrow's dead. Green Lantern switched over to the Sinestro Corps, and just so everything is asked backwards. And of course, you come in with the real Batman. I believe the actual Batman was dead. So anyway, you come in, you save the day, and set everything right. So and just it'll be interesting what they do if they continue on that story.
Okay.
Because fun fact, DC just got another restart. The comics, just another restart.
Did they really?
Well, I was in the comic book store the other day picking up that really cool.
They're so we had the new 52 and now they're restarting again.
I don't know the details, but that's what it seemed like because there was another issue 1 Superman, issue 1 Batman. I was gonna buy them, but I was like, I'm cool. But anyway, so it'll be fun to see Injustice 2. It's fun. They're everyone enjoys them. Cool fighting game. But I don't have a whole lot to say to that. Ubisoft, Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Ghost Recon Wildlands sounds awesome. Co-op. The co-op that game, open world co-op shooter tactics.
Now we're not talking via the Division. Is it gonna be like that?
It's not an MMO.
Not an MMO.
Not an MMO. One second.
So I did see some stuff that looks like it's gonna be going against like Cartel sort of thing.
Yes, so we're going against Cartel. It seems to be the Santa Blanca or whatever.
I think it's made up.
Yeah,
is it real?
Yeah, the Saint White.
Well, Blanca's a name.
Oh, yeah, too. But it's made up. I think it's set slightly in the future. I can't remember.
But co-op, shoot 'em up. Not shoot 'em up, but shooter.
Open world.
That we're going to be playing.
I'm looking forward to it. The mechanics are great. The thing is, it is Ubisoft. So we have to temper our expectations because Ubisoft tends to show shit and then not deliver.
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs. Speaking of, Watch Dogs 2 got announced. I don't think anyone cares.
I do.
I know some people do.
I played Watch Dogs 1. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's just a not Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Where you can hack stuff.
True.
It was fun, and the story was okay.
But I mean...
But it wasn't what we expected. I mean, we saw that E3 demo, and it looked so freaking beautiful, and then when it comes out, even PS3 to PS4 versions, it hardly looked different. It was bad.
Well, and the other thing is, why does the hacker have to be good at everything? Why is he a firearms expert and a hand-to-hand expert?
Well, in the game, Aiden Pierce, he had some sort of other background.
Well, this guy...
We don't know anything about him yet.
Everyone's a jack of all trades. Hashtag jack of all trades for every game.
I mean, well, and that's where the RPG element comes in, where you choose to get better at other things.
Yeah, that too.
So like my dude was his firearms, because in the games like that, I never really increase the firearms ability too much because I can go off of what I'm naturally good at, and it's usually good enough to where you pump up, like in Watch Dogs, my playthrough, I pumped up all my hacking stuff. So I'm coming through and I'm making lights stop and all the lights go green and everyone crashing and everything, and just doing shenanigans all day, calling in helicopters, like just messing around. So I'm stoked for Watch Dogs 2. It'll be fun. Ghost Recon. Now, For Honor. What's going on with For Honor?
For Honor looks amazing.
Okay.
You have your 3 different factions. You got your Vikings.
I'm down.
Your Samurais.
Oh, okay. I have.
And your Knights.
So I'm playing Vikings because
we're all playing Vikings. It is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Plus, the guy who does the presentation for this game rocks a beard and a cane like you'd never seen before in your life.
Cane?
Dude, he is boss. He is so metal, it's not funny.
Whatever. Vikings, though.
Give
me any game that I can play a Viking, I'm happy.
Oh, yeah. Viking.
Yeah. Oh.
What?
We never went back to God of War.
Oh. We skipped.
The best thing, I was saving it for last of us, the Sony part, and we skipped it. So the only thing I really want to say on it, I guess, is I'm just super confused as to what kind of timeline we're talking about. Everything I'm reading, everyone seems to be pretty sure that is Kratos, like true Kratos. Like it is Kratos. It's not a reincarnation. It's not anything else. But spoiler alert, you're dead at the end of 3.
So apparently, what about Ascension? When did Ascension take place?
Before everything.
Before everything?
Before it all. Or between 2 and 3, something. It not after 3.
Well, apparently he's still technically a god in this. The guy said Kratos is a god, and he despises being a god. And the way he's viewing his son, he doesn't want his son to become a god. He wants his son to have his humanity. That's why you see him temper his anger so much with his child, as he's. And then how you are playing Kratos. The rumors where you're not playing Kratos are false. The guy said you are playing Kratos. They're 100%. Let me see if I can find the news article. It's right in here. Boom, boom, boom. There we go.
Yeah, see, Ascension takes place before 1.
Huh?
Ascension takes place before God of War 1.
Okay. So let's see. Let's see if I can find... I don't think this is the right one I was looking at. So no, that was not it. Oh my goodness. Is it this one? Nope. Yeah, leave it to me to not get shit down. Anyways, it's looking like they're saying they're saying that they don't want to call it a reboot. They don't want to put a number on it either because it's not part of that era for him. This is a whole new story for Kratos that they want to be told. He still comes from.
Okay, so I just because it's been a while since I finished, since I played God of War 3, I couldn't remember exactly how it ends. It's ambiguous, so whether or not you're actually dead.
Okay.
So where Kratos' body was, and you're
because apparently
he's dead.
how the guy was talking about it, he was saying that this is one of the developers, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that Kratos has lost his wife and his his family.
Mm-hmm.
They died, and he didn't get to live that life and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so after everything's all said and done, he's gone through those massive adventures.
They didn't die. He killed them.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Through trickery.
He has a son now again, and he's wanting to do things right.
I can understand that. I'm just curious as to how they're going to explain it all. I'm sure they'll do a good job of it. But so at the end of 3, where Kratos' body was, the last time you saw it, you just see a blood trail. His body's gone. The assumption from some people are that it's the gravedigger from 1 who buries Kratos' wife back in 1 and then says 1 left, meaning Kratos.
Mm-hmm.
But then that gets slightly debunked because then you find out that guy in the old man in the robes was Zeus in disguise.
Yeah.
So it's all complicated sort of explanations and everything. But the last, it was ambiguous. You just see a blood trail. So it's presumed that he dragged himself away or something. Okay. So if he dragged himself... So then my questions are, with the once again, the lore of it, the... what's the word for... the pantheon of gods.
Yeah.
Are they now all of a sudden just also going to acknowledge all the Norse gods? Because this is clearly Norse.
So I don't know. I have no idea what they're doing.
Or did he kill all the Greek gods and now
it's just the Norse gods taking over?
They come around. Or unless they do play either they play the multiverse theory or they play because remember with Norse mythology.
Well, you saw the giant mountain in the background. I mean, it's clearly Norse mythology, but it looked like Mount Olympus in the background.
Yeah, Mount Olympus, you wouldn't be able to physically, geographically see it from that area. But what if it's... I know what you mean, but what if it's more the situation of... Because in Norse mythology, there's all the realms. What if it's because, God of War doesn't take place in any specific year? So what if all that happens, and then the Norse gods decide to move into this realm? So that may be what it goes. So I guess I just have questions once again about the lore because that's what I'm worried about the most. Gameplay looks amazing. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. I'm going to play it on the hardest mode right off the bat because I love torture.
And the person definitely said it's not open world a la Skyrim.
I didn't think so.
No, it's very linear.
God of Wars are not.
Yeah.
They are just not. So then, the funny of the bunch, South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
It looks good.
I loved the first one. I loved it.
See, I started playing it and I never finished it.
It plays very much old school JRPG. Your guys on the right, their guys on the left, or whatever. And everyone has their abilities, and then you have all the different classes to choose from. Actually, there's only 4. One of them being the Jew that you get to choose from. No offense to Jews, but it was a class in the game, and I expect it to be a class in the new one again. But each class had their benefits and everything. I think the Jew could heal or something. So I didn't play as a Jew. I played as a knight, probably. I don't know what I played as. I don't remember. It's been so many years.
I picked a mage.
But
I made my dude look like me though. I thought it was dope.
No, yeah, and I'm sure they'll bring that
South
back.
Park dude.
Well, because they did it really well for longtime South Park fans, which I am. It made it really cool to be able to put yourself in South Park. You made your guy, definitely. And you're the new kid in town. Play with these guys. Play with these kids. I would like to see, however, a little bit more open world, a little less linear. As far as because I played the game multiple times to get all the trophies.
Trophy whore.
Make different paths. Maybe for each class it's a different story path. Maybe you join the one faction, the kids, and that's how you go and beat that game. Because in South Park, I guess spoilers, it's an old game, but spoilers. No matter which class you choose, and there's no actual decisions. You just go through the game, and there's part of the game to have you siding with one faction, with the other side of the other half of the game to have you siding with the other faction until everyone's happy. And I just don't like that. That's probably the only thing I guess I didn't like about it, how linear it was. So give me a little bit more choice, give me a little bit more freedom. But other than that, it's Matt Park and or Matt Stone and whatever the other
Trey Parker.
Trey Parker, there you go. There's a Park in there. Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll be interesting.
So are we on to your
I guess we're on to Pokemon. We're
on the Nintendo.
Mostly Pokemon. But
although I do want to say before we do hop into Pokemon.
Yes. No, yeah, let's cover Zelda.
Zelda
first.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath
of fresh air.
How about Breath of Fresh Air?
Holy shit!
I'm a huge Zelda fan. I love the games. The only ones I probably wasn't a huge fan of was the DS ones, just because it was always hard for me to find time to play a handheld game when I have other options to play. Unless it's Pokemon, I find it really hard to play on my handhelds. But those games were still really fun, and if you haven't gotten it, the Hyrule Historia is probably one of the best resources out there. Of course, this might throw it all out the window. We have no freaking clue. So, on to Zelda. Open world.
Open world.
Something that I think everyone has wanted since Ocarina of Time.
So, yeah.
Because that was the first closest thing to open world.
Fucking love Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, it's everyone's favorite.
And Mask of Majora. I loved both.
Majora's Mask. My favorite was actually Wind Waker.
See, I
gets a bad rap.
Like Wind Waker.
It gets a bad rap because of its art style, but you have to, remember who we're talking about. It's Nintendo. They don't go with the latest greatest technology. They go with, and the same thing. We're seeing the same thing.
Nintendo ain't mainstream, bruh.
They're not, but they are at the same time.
I know, right?
Nintendo. They're like the hipster.
They are.
They're the hipster. No, we're retro. Whatever. That's cool, and nothing against hipsters in the world, I guess, but. I love Nintendo for what they do, and what they do is their own thing. I don't want to see them die. Part of me wants them to die, like Sega did.
Well, the reason, and let us clarify really quickly why we say we kind of want Nintendo to die. We want Nintendo to die, and the fact that we want them to not have their own console anymore. So we want their properties to go across everything. Because we know for a fact it's not going to happen. We know that we will never see Pokemon on
an Unreal Engine or a Frostbite engine,
which would be amazing.
There's some art out there. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. Where
when people redo stuff in the Unreal Engines and everything. I know for a fact there's a Blastoise walking around in grass. That's amazing.
It's beautiful.
But that's kind of why we want it to die. But at the same time, even if Nintendo did die, and the fact that their home consoles die, I don't think they're going anywhere when it comes to their handhelds.
They have
a monopoly when it comes to the handheld market.
PlayStation.
You can talk about mobile all you want to, blue in the face. It ain't going anywhere. No one takes mobile hardcore seriously, and it's hardcore fans that drive a market. I agree. They're the ones that keep the life in the market.
However, I will say there have been the niche games that have come out, like Clash of Clans, that I have customers at the retail space I work at that they come by religiously every week and buy $100, $200 worth of cards for that game alone.
See, that's ridiculous.
Because you never hopped into the true competitive level of Clash of Clans. Once you level up enough and do all that kind of stuff, the competitive level of it is insane. If you really get into a clan and do all that, it is something that no other game offers because of the fact that you can play it anywhere and all that. So yes, I agree with you. It's not, mobile gaming isn't going anywhere, and Nintendo has a monopoly on the handhelds, but there is a lot of money in those mobile games, and they're free.
Oh yeah,
the freemiums.
Like Pokemon's going nowhere.
And with Pokemon Go, well, we'll get into Pokemon Go in a minute, but let's finish up with Zelda. Talking about Zelda, it's gonna be big, huge open world. I'm excited to see degradable weapons.
Degradable weapons.
Yeah.
You can set the grass on fire.
Yes. A living, thriving world that we're going to be able to explore.
You can cut down a tree to make a bridge.
Yeah, you could see in some of the more landscape shots, you can see Death Mountain. We've all been to Death Mountain. You can see the ruins of the Temple of Time, the Master Sword chilling in that pedestal. Like with all the other stuff, my first questions are, where are we? What year is it? How much time has gone by? My guess, this is thousands of years in the future.
You think so?
At least 1,000. That's my guess. Just at the level of decay of the world, and by decay I just mean the man-made structures are gone. We didn't see one other person.
We did not.
It was all creatures.
Well, we have our first post-apocalyptic Zelda game.
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. Unless you count Wind Waker being post-apocalyptic since the entire
Water
world. Yeah. Good old movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Weird, and you get the
Bruh, you know how long that movie is, though?
Very.
It's fucking a hard watch.
It's worth it. But I'm excited for this open world. Looks like he was, taming wild horses, sort of thing, hopping on them.
It's be dope. As long as you got an ocarina and he calls Epona.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, yeah. I'm stoked for Legend of Zelda for lots of reasons. And
But
it's
great piece of tidbit. Wii U and Nintendo NX.
right.
So
Just like with Twilight Princess.
the reason why the Zelda's getting pushed back is they want it to be a launch title with NX, with the Nintendo NX, which we don't know much about still. But good thing is it is coming to Wii U.
We probably won't see this year then.
No, it is not this year.
Yeah. Now, do you think they'll wait till holiday of next year?
I don't know.
I hope not.
I don't know. I don't want them to.
Well, like,
but that's like the time to release a console. Unfortunately,
yeah.
I think Tokyo Game Show later this year we will definitely learn more.
We'll learn a lot more about Nintendo. Didn't share a whole lot with us. The Treehouse event pretty much was the first half Reggie saying hi, and then the second 2/3 of it of Pokemon, and then the last hour of it was Zelda gameplay. I did watch all of it in its entirety because it was the two titles that two of the titles I'm really stoked for.
So on to what Sojex has been itching to talk about.
Freaking Pokemon, man! It's so. Can you bring up the screenshots that I shared of it?
Yep, we will get the screenshots up here.
I do apologize for two of the screenshots. I took them on my phone. And as I was taking the screenshot, I accidentally hit the volume down button, so that shows up on the screenshot. But the part that it covers up is not important to what I'm going to share. So let's start with the one with
which one are we starting with?
With this on the right over here.
Okay, let's go here.
So this is just a basic, as big as you can get it, so they can see it.
It's going nowhere after this.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, and then shrink us over here, so we can see a little bit.
We will shrink ourselves.
All right, so some really cool things to see. Now, can they see our cursor?
Yes, they can.
Cool. So, first of all, it looks fantastic. One of the first things that I immediately noticed under Ladybug is a shadow.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, they're actually going to do some really good shadow work with the game, and since it's it's not like a PC where you have to adjust. Not everyone's thing rig is the same. Everyone's game is going to look this beautiful. Now, this is running on the new 3DS XL.
Yeah, right there.
So I hope there won't be any performance differences. I seriously doubt there will. And they also didn't say any kind of interplay or requirement for the C-Stick. It is going to be able to play on 3DSs and 2DSs. So I don't think that's going to be a big part of the gameplay at all. But here are the big things that I enjoy. Starting in the upper left-hand corner of the bottom screen, you have the last item used, Pokeball. Now, it's one of two things. It's either last item used or you can assign an item to it. They didn't specify, but I'm hoping you can assign an item to it because then you just hit, in this case, Y, and then boom, you got your Pokeball, you launch it.
What button used to be the when you were in the overview and you were running around?
The bottom here where,
when you had your...
for your bike and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, in older games it was Y, but then in X and Y and then Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, they changed it so that when you had the one key item mapped, you just hit Y, but once you had more than one, you would hit Y and then the D-pad option would come up and you'd hit 1, 2, 3, or 4 to get the different items. So then you can keybind 4 items. So I like that. I hope that better come back. It's a perfect feature because you need your fishing rod, your bike, your in Omega Ruby.
And it sucks to go through the bag and search for it and hit use.
Especially because some games really, like Black and White was one of the ones I hated the most. It took forever to get into your bag. Like, you'd hit the thing, go to your bag, and that loading screen, like that black screen, just took forever. So anyway, just little first world problems, but I just didn't like it. But then just how everything's laid out here. So I'll start with the obvious, less important stuff first. On the left, the green button that says Pokemon. Obviously, is going to take you straight to your Pokemon, be able to look at them. That's fine. You can, or I guess I can.
There we go. We solved the problem. I gave him the mouse.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, so the green button there, Pokemon, is going to take you straight to your Pokemon, the bag, go into your bag, and then fight. Right here in the middle, though, is the most interesting part here. These are the same Pokemon that are fighting up here, and they're clickable. So they're clickable for several reasons. If we go, let's see which direction I want to go. Well, let's actually, since I'm talking about that. So when you click on the one Pokemon, in this case, the player clicked on Ladybug. It's kind of hard to see in this picture. But he had just used Growl on Ladybug. And how all Pokemon experts will know, Growl lowers attack by 1 stage. Here you have the stages. And there's a total of, is that 6 or 7?
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Cool. So that did. So then I'm 100% sure because you can only lower anything by 6 stages or increase it.
Okay.
It's going to represent where their stats are in relevance to
the battle.
Boosters used, battle used, yes. And you can see not only your opponent, but your own. And their typing, because, I mean, I'm still fairly confident. You can show me any Pokemon and I can name it. Any Pokemon.
Who's that Pokemon?
With the 99% accuracy.
I love those.
I could do it. But there are 762 of them. And they're just adding more.
Yeah.
So it's going to come to a point.
Well, the thing is, they're not adding 100 at a time anymore.
They're not, but I feel like they're going to add a lot with this one. I feel like they're going to add a lot.
You think we're going to get
I guess
more than 40?
I guess I should say I'm hoping. But they keep one of the key things that he said, because the interviewer of this segment said, hey, this gives me very much a Galapagos Island sort of feel. And we know the Galapagos Islands, there was tons of undiscovered species out there, or variations on species. So I'm hoping that we get a lot of pre-evolutions, that we get some main evolutions. One of our, how do we look at the chat room?
It went away.
We can't look at the chat.
No. Okay. You were talking about the Eevee.
Well, one of our viewers was saying about Eevee getting either a dragon evolution that would be countered by the old Sylveon pure fairy evolution, or one that would be a steel evolution to counter the fairy evolution. Because in all the other iterations, we got 2 evolutions at a time that countered each other. We had Glaceon and Leafeon in Diamond and Pearl. Glaceon trumped Leafeon because grass is weak to ice. And then in Gold and Silver we got Espeon Umbreon, and Umbreon got beat out, or Umbreon beat out Espeon by typing. So I think I'm hoping we'll see something. I would love a...
So we have a fairy Eevee, right?
We have a fairy. We
just don't
Eevee.
have a steel.
We don't have a steel. We don't have a poison. We don't have a rock, a fighting. There's a lot of types we don't
Ghost.
have. Don't have a ghost.
Dragon.
So don't have a dragon. Here's my hope. Let Eevee normally evolve, because this is to the anime from when we were really young. But there was one episode where there was one episode where there was this kid who had an Eevee, and he was the youngest of like 4 brothers, and all the other brothers each had an Eevee, and they each evolved it with Earth, Thunder, Fire, Water. And he didn't want to evolve his Eevee because Eevee was perfect the way it was. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the fans out there who love that kid, just because, everyone loves Eevee, was like, well, wouldn't it just be great if Eevee evolved a different way? Because it can't be by level up, because I don't think you can retro that in.
No.
But find another way for Eevee to evolve where it just evolves just normal and stays normal, but then gets a mega.
Oh, that'd be dope.
So then, because they give it a normal evolution, that kind of puts it at mid-level ground, and then give it a mega that just lets it bitch slap every other evolution.
Well, what would you want your mega typing to be?
Doesn't need to change. It's just all about the ability. It's all about the abilities.
Normal.
Give it some.
Keep it normal.
Got to give it some strong stuff. I have to really think about it, because this thought only came to me when our viewer said something about a mega Eevee, a mega normal Eevee. Because in my opinion, you can't mega regular evolution. They're already pretty strong.
Yeah.
Then they'd just be too damn strong. But so I'm really excited about this on a competitive level, because when you're in a Pokemon battle, you are thinking about everything, and it's so hard.
I can attest to that for any strategy game too. When you're playing anything real time or even turn-based, your mind starts spinning
1,000 miles an hour.
Oh,
and to keep track of every little thing, and then you look at it, or in this case, a Pokemon.
Always just miss one little fucking thing.
Crap! Of course, I shouldn't have used.
What the fuck was I thinking?
It was a ghost type.
Right here, you just fucking click it and you see where the fuck everything is.
No stupid mistake. Once again, I apologize about the media volume thing. Like I said, I was watching it, and then I think I felt like I was running out of time to take the screenshot. So yeah, this is the first battle screen. Oops, I full screened it. Okay, that kind of works, I guess. No, we can't see it. Yeah. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, so that's fine. So in this screen right here, it's really hard to see in the resolution that I have it in.
Right here. And yep. We're gonna see as much as we can. There you go. You can just
it's really hard to see. So in this case, once again, my volume bar is kind of covering up. But the player chose Poplio, the water type, to play as. By the way, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a fairy type, and I'll go into that in a minute. But Poplio, or the player chose Poplio, and his rival had chosen Litten, who's a fire type, and they had fought before. So then when this part was happening, they shared with us that when you fought a Pokemon before, your Rotom-possessed Pokedex helps you remember how you did, and in the sense of what was effective and what wasn't. So, you know what? I just answered one of my own questions that I had before. So A normal attack versus a fire type. Effective. Not super or not effective, just regular, no bonuses, no minuses. A water type attack, super effective. And it remembers it for you right there. And something like Growl, which is not damaging, it's a status thing, so no message. And a fairy attack against fire, not very effective. So it remembers it for you. And that is just, once again, magnificent when you're looking at it on that competitive point of view. Oh man, this is my, I'm in the tournament where 10 matches in, I can't remember what the hell. Oh, okay, yes, it is effective. So I'm really excited for that. I think that's a great addition. Little simple thing. A lot of people I think are going to be upset that maybe they might feel it's kind of going easy mode, but we do.
I can see that argument.
I can totally see that argument, and I'm not going to disagree with it per se. So I hope it's a feature you could turn on or off. I hope it's something that you go into your Pokedex or into your options and you can turn it on or off.
And then it leaves it up to the player. I'm always down for more choices.
And then in tournaments, they might say you have to turn this option off.
Yeah,
during tournaments, which I'm totally for.
Now tournaments are supposed to be hardcore.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Now these little buttons, those little blips right here, are also clickable. So I didn't take a screenshot of it, and I can't remember when they stopped. But when you're in a battle, you can't see what Water Gun does in the sense of its damage, its accuracy levels,